Oh, hello. Didn't see you there.
Hello, my name is Mayori.
And I am Rashid. And I like whole foods.
I do too.
What have you been watching in the pancake?
I've been watching We Can Be Heroes. So, Trolls, Tiana. I think I did watch the movie. I watched Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Other movies. What about you?
I've been watching We Can Be Heroes and Family Reunion and iCarly.
That's nice, because I watched Sam and Cat and Victorious. Who's your favorite character from We Can Be Heroes?
My favorite character is Noodles, Facemaker, and Rewind.
I like Rewind's sister, and I like...
Twin.
Yes, Twin. I like Acapella. I like Wildcard, Missy, and Ohio. So what was your favorite part?
My favorite part is when Noodles grew up. He's like, "Greetings, fellow grown-ups."
Yeah, I like that part too. But my favoriteest part is when Missy and Wildcard work together. So, what have you been doing during this whole virus and stuff?
I've been just playing on my PlayStation.
Have you been playing Roblox?
Yes.
Cool. What's your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby is Escape the Facility hobby.
Oh, I like that game too. But my favoriteest game is Brookhaven and Infectious Smile.
Those are mine too.
Cool.
And I play Brookhaven all the time, and I ask my cousin to play it, but he just doesn't want to play it.
If you want me to play it with you, you could call me on my cell phone.
Cut!
Do you know how to dance like a robot?
Now you go.
Shutting down.
What have you been up to?
I've been at the studio working on my new song. It's called I Love My Friends. It's about my classmates during this homeschool struggle.
That's so cool. Back to our regular program.
Wow.
Are we still rolling?
Hi.
Thanks for standing by, folks. I can't believe February is over already.
Yo, you say that every year, but it also means that this is the fourth and final episode of BlackStar Live 1.5.
Well, I feel like it was just yesterday when we plotted with our good friends to help us do the most in the middle of a Pantone.
Which do the most is our motto, right?
I put the M in DTM.
Yo, but for real though, what started off as a way for us to distract ourselves from QAnon and Donald Trump quickly became a way to distract ourselves from the fact that QAnon prevails. And you actually showed up. Thank y'all for coming through. Hey Luke, how you feeling?
Well, actually my check cleared, so it's whatever for me.
He got paid?
Oh, production, can we pull his promo, please?
Oh, come on, man.
Okay, no, seriously. This was always about building up my wardrobe.
Word. And you did that.
Thank you. Although your boo definitely had a hand in that. It was also Mercury, now that Mercury's not on Medicaid anymore, so give thanks to that, we made it through with only a few tiny technical difficulties.
Indeed. And yo, I'm not gonna lie, Mercury and Powerade had me ready to throw up my hands at least once or twice during this thing.
I'm surprised because usually you talk about how you do well in Mercury in retrograde.
Not this time.
Well, you know what, Rashid? You overcame.
We shall overcome. So wait, what are you gonna do now that this thing is wrapping up?
I don't know. I'm going to pretend to take a few days off and then get back to ignoring all the other parts of my life. And, you know, these spring collections aren't going to order themselves.
True. Y'all can just hold off on emailing Maori for like a week.
BlackStar Festival planning is in full swing, and I really need to stop messing around with y'all.
Yo, for real, you're not the only one that's got to like put on a show for people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To plug myself, we're bringing revival to the streets. It's a celebration of visual and sonic frequencies centering on the Black aesthetic, and it's on view right now at the Fabric Workshop in downtown Philadelphia.
Oh, well, I actually am just about to drop an album that has keys, bass, drums, vocals. I mean, come on.
Yeah, man.
Okay, great, Luke. If y'all are done competing in the Panoramic Olympics, I would like to keep the show going. With us to cap off an incredible half season is resident scholar, Dr. Yaba Blay. She's going to give us a rundown of February events in a Black History Month meets Judgment Free Zone mashup. And then we're going to have Hank Willis Thomas join us at the cat table to talk to us about art, fashion, and politics.
April and Vista will be our musical guests this evening, followed by a short interview with the brilliant Rashida Bumbray.
Plus a whole lot of foolishness in between. You might as well put us on one screen so you can keep scrolling on the other.
This is BlackStar Live.
This summer, we told you that Black Lives Matter. And from our family at Whole Foods Market to yours, we want to assure that we stand behind our promise. This February, Whole Foods is thrilled to celebrate Black History Month with our brand new artisanal bean pies. That's right. We come into your neighborhoods and price you out, so now we're bringing your foods to Whole Foods. These artisanal bean pies are crafted with the finest organic ingredients to ensure that they taste just like the fruit of Islam, with a few improvements. See? Even better. Artisanal bean pies.
What the fuck is this shit?
From Whole Foods.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Minute in Black Cinema. My name is Desmond Thorne, and today we're going to talk about the remake of Candyman, directed by Nia DaCosta, and starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who is, speaking of a literal Candyman, I mean, that man would absolutely melt in my mouth, and he is delicious and he is delectable. I mean, it's crazy that he was even hot in Jordan Peele's film Us, and he shot from behind in long shots. And speaking of Us, I just want Winston Duke to choke me with his thighs. Please, please.
Good evening, Blacks, Browns, Indigenous siblings, and no drops. This is your favorite professional Black girl, Dr. Yaba Blay, here to talk to you about the Black History Month that was and the gifts we continue to be. Now, you may be asking, what happened to Yaba Learns? Did she run out of Black things to learn? And the answer to that is, in the words of the lovely sister Tabitha Brown, that's my business. No, but seriously, I got sick of y'all judging the Empress of the Judgment Free Zone, so this is what y'all get. For now. This Black History Month was not without our usual antics, showing out, audacity, and shade. First, Let's talk about who really showed out, okay? Me. That's who. I released my book, One Drop, Shifting the Lens on Race last week, and baby, y'all showed me so much love. I am forever grateful. And if you haven't purchased your copy, you are choosing ignorance, and I'm judging you. Al Sharpton is also showing out, getting back out in these streets, and I ain't talking about those protests. It was announced earlier this month that he's getting a divorce from his estranged wife of 17 years. So are we hitting the streets now, Rev? Is your Christian Mingle profile up to date? Reverend Al looks like the kind of guy who posts pics of himself with famous people to his dating profile to let you know just what type of time he's on. And I ain't even mad. Any takers? Send your voice notes to 1-800-BlackStar. But you know, it wouldn't be a regular day in America if we didn't have good old audacious racism. Tessica Brown was freed from the confines of the white man's adhesive when a Black surgeon provided his services free of charge to remove Gorilla Glue from her hair. And apparently, Gorilla Glue sales have surged following this whole thing. Now ask me if she'll see a penny of those profits. We already know. Now, y'all all did yourselves with the dance challenges. Between the quick edits, wardrobe switch-ups, and special effects, I am convinced that all of y'all would have failed my classes just for doing the most. You want a Bust It challenge? This was the first publicly documented Bust It challenge right here. And you're all over this June bug challenge, but what about the jitterbug, huh? The classic swing move was popularized in the 1930s by none other than Cab Calloway. And don't get me started on the silhouette challenge. Who remembers these? Wait, is that Jay-Z or James Baldwin? Tell me he don't look like Jay. You know what? Never mind. My point is this. All of what we do today traces back to a moment in time when our ancestors dared to imagine a world beyond the reality they experienced. Message. Aunt Jemima underwent some rebranding. I guess they decided that 130 years of racist marketing was enough. They've traded in their enslaved mammy archetype for a gentrifying milling company. Yay, capitalism! Now somebody let me know when they've tried Uncle P's original syrup, or better yet, Samuel L's. Lifetime gave us both the Wendy Williams and Salt and Pepper movies, digging up old dirt and reheating hot tea. And my fiery Sag was here for all of it. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't write that. I wasn't here for any of it. Look at those Salt and Pepper wigs. That's blasphemy. This is not professional at all. I do not endorse this. Anyway, I can't wait until they make one about the City Girls, produced and directed by Issa Rae. We're well on our way to seeing that happen with the announcement of Rap Shit. It can happen. Now, because I'm being very careful about who or what I give my attention to these days, I'm not going to talk about what's her name not being able to find work after pretending to be Black for ooh, okay. Or the fact that they put that white man on Jasmine Sullivan's national anthem at the Super Bowl. But I will acknowledge the life of Mary Wilson with the supreme read of What's His Face by the elegantly shady Sonny Hostin.
Now, Van, you do spend a lot of time, threading the middle and trying to unite people. But there are those who really accuse you of being a political opportunist, a chameleon, so to speak, who provided racial cover for former disgraced, twice impeached President Trump.
Ooh. That concludes Black History Month in Review with Dr. Yaba Bumbray. Don't hurt yourself. Listen to Black women. And remember, we all we got.
Hi, I'm Tariq Trotter, also known as Black Thought. I'm a world-class lyricist, a founding member of the band The Roots, and I have some thoughts on Hallmark's Mahogany line of greeting cards meant for African Americans celebrating milestones in life. These are going to be Black Thought's thoughts. Okay, this first card is called Birthday to Man. Man, noun, role model, honorable, strong, has a sense of purpose, takes responsibility, doesn't need to ask directions. laughs loud, keeps the faith, backbone of his family. See also, good black man. The interior of the card says, nobody ever needed to tell you to man up. Happy birthday. I have many questions about this card, Mahogany. Why is the silhouette of Black Mr. Rogers obscured like somebody on a public registry? Why is this printed on college ruled notebook paper? And why is it sepia stained like it's just been unearthed from a sarcophagus? This freetypeface.com looking fake Archer font is just lazy. Use Courier, Mahogany. But the real problem is toxic masculinity. Why are we discouraging this good black man from asking for directions and accepting advice? We are not our fathers, men. We can be vulnerable and we can show our faces. When my person talks to me, I just need to know they love me for who I am. Do you know me? It's like I've said in We Could Be Good on my album, Streams of Thought Volume 3. I say you know me and you told me to get out your face, but you should know your crown is safe. And I'm proud to say I never just vanished without a trace. Happy birthday, King. There's a card for men and a card for women. Let's see what this one's about. I'd love a world with women like you running it. Enough with this font, y'all. Shit. Hallmark. Go look up some new definitions of whimsy. I like Cooper Nouveau by House Industries. But also, Hallmark, why is this addressed to a small child? I don't want the world to be run by precocious children. That seems irresponsible to me, as Black children are proven statistically to be perceived as older than they are. They already have to shoulder the misplaced burden of maturity beyond their years. Besides, does this child even know how to read yet? What is she, 5? What are we saying about the woman we want to have running the world, that we're infantilizing her? Put a real woman in there, a picture of Stacey Abrams. It's like I said once to Funk Flex, and I think bears repeating. Just because they give you shit don't mean you have to take it. Thank you for saving our asses.
Yo, shout out to Yaba Blay, who probably got us like a second season.
Yo, seriously, Yaba needs to do this professionally.
She really does.
Indeed, indeed. And shout out to Black Thought, too, for just being a font nerd. Like,
Yes.
I feel like that's how we judge everything.
Absolutely. Do not submit a film to BlackStar if you don't have your fonts right.
Mayori checks fonts for hotel, like when she goes to hotels. That's how she makes food decisions at Whole Foods.
That's how you make decisions about rap albums.
Listen, fonts, they matter, all right? Yeah. Shout out to House Industries.
All fonts matter. Our first guest tonight is Hank Willis Thomas. Hank is a conceptual artist with work that breaks the bounds of media, photography, sculpture, public art, and publishing. We're excited to talk to him about his recent civic engagement initiative and his Love Overrules fashion campaign. Welcome to BlackStar Live, Hank.
Ooh, welcome, man. We see you in the Matrix.
Am I live?
You are.
You are
okay.
live.
You're live and we can hear you. Welcome, man. Thanks for coming through.
I could tell Mercury was in Kool-Aid, lemonade, and Powerade.
Indeed. I think it's out now, so we're good. We're good. Yo, real talk, I don't really know how to start. I've been a huge fan of your work for a really long time, and I've drawn a ton of inspiration from a lot of stuff that you've done. So I just want to start off with a really easy question. First, how are you feeling about Uncle Joe spending our stimulus money to attack Syria? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me at all. No, seriously, what have you been watching in the pandemic? What have you been binging or enjoying on TV or Netflix?
That's a tough question, actually, because I've been busy. But I did watch WandaVision. And what did I watched Small Axe, which I really love. What am I behind on is the question. Tell me.
WandaVision is probably the thing I'm looking the most forward to, week to week, for sure. And then sharing some more things.
I fell into WandaVision because my daughter's really big into Disney shows right now. So I was like watching Finding Nemo for like the 1 billionth time. And then got stuck.
Word.
I see the 40-year-old virgin there. Congratulations on the magazine scene. It looks incredible.
Thank you so much.
Indeed.
I have one, and it is incredible.
Nice.
Thank you. Can you talk to us? I know you're working on many, many projects, but one that I think a lot of people would probably want to know how it got started is bringing back the concept of the wide awakes and all the organizing you were doing around the election. Can you talk about how you got into that?
Sure. I mean, I figured we were in a hot mess, and I wanted to turn it into a message. And I realized that there were so many people around me, yours truly, you and you, who were already doing the work, and that I needed to catch up and try to do my part. And I invited a lot of people who I thought as major inspirations to kind of acknowledge more that they were already working together towards the Great Awakening, which actually culminated in 2020 when more of us became more mindful of our breath and who we spend time with than ever before, and and how we use that time. And so we banded together from across the world and did as much as we could together and apart to bring civic joy and a new perspective on how we can make change to the world.
I like that concept of civic joy. I haven't heard that before. I like that.
Indeed. I've just a person on the internet for a really long time, and I think a lot about how social media transforms photography and transforms visual criticism. And I'm a bit curious to how you've embraced the language, how you've sort of just used social media as a part of your work.
Well, I wound up getting sucked into it, and I was like, how do I make my actually wasting time into productive time? And then I've been really trying to make it meaningful for me. So I have excuse to spend 2 or 3 hours scrolling through people's random videos and TikTok, etc. So, but that's really what it is. How about you? I mean, don't you feel like that do you have a social media responsibility as a person on the internet for a long time?
I wonder about that often, right? I wonder about social media responsibility in the same way I think about responsibility as a Black person towards, whatever your sort of political obligations are. And yes and no. I mean, I think as an artist wanting to create interesting things, I think there's some responsibility there, right? Yeah. What about you, Mary?
No one follows me. So I feel like I get to sort of have my social media under the radar, so to speak. But and in part, I don't cultivate followers because I don't want that responsibility.
For sure.
So why'd you do the show then?
Because I've always wanted my own show. I wanted a show before there was social media.
And this does feel like a part of the responsibility, bringing some sort of joy and levity and humor, but also bringing in incredible artists like yourself.
Yeah.
And trying to sort of balance humor, joy with some type of artistic deepness and sort of intellectual expansion.
Yeah, for sure.
And flyness. I didn't get the memo.
You got on the illest, the I am my ancestors' wildest dream shirt though, man. So that's perfect. That's perfect.
Well, and speaking of flyness and your sweatshirt, you've been producing some stunning commentary on fashion consumption and branding with your project Branded Unbranded. And you've said, and I'm paraphrasing, that so much of branding is about what white people want out of Black bodies. So this is sort of a 2-part question, but could you tell us what you're wearing, which we see, so forget that. But could you talk about where your sweatshirt comes from? And also, what's it like? You've been working with fashion through your collaboration with Sakai, and also there's a fashion element of the wide awakes. Could you talk about that?
Sure. So yeah, I'm wearing a B. Mike sweatshirt. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. B. Mike is an incredible artist from New Orleans who has done amazing murals and political engagement. And you can get it at Studio B. And I just want to remind myself and everyone that our ancestors, if they saw us in this very moment, would be like, what? And I think with everything I do, I'm trying to make my ancestors prouder and prouder. And so within the Wide Awakes, I realized I was surrounded by superheroes who were doing incredible things, like you, lifting up so many people who never had a platform and had an opportunity till you made the space, and that's so opening up literally a black hole in the film world, and that's a heroic task. And so my friend Anya Chi and Kambuya Lajimi and Kobe Kennedy, and others were making capes in different ways through their work, and I was like, why don't we make capes? And Kambuya was in Senegal at Kehinde Wiley's residency, and he's like had all these beautiful African patterns, and so we just decided that this was a year where we were going to need to be our own superheroes, and so that statement is long overdue, and hopefully we can build off of it.
Word. I think about I think about the work that you've done for Sakai, and like that counts as design work, but it's also artistic, or it really is considered art. And I'm curious to how you distinguish the difference between art and design, or is there a difference?
Well, I believe good art asks questions and good design answers them. And more, we're realizing that the quality of the questions affects the answers. And so I'm in the question asking business, but I'm getting closer to designer so I can try to understand how to answer even my own questions. And the opportunity to work with a Japanese fashion brand that does so many different kind of amazing things was just enlightening. And I hope to be able to do more things like that and put it out into the world.
Word.
How has your practice, you have definitely a studio practice and, have been in multiple museum exhibitions and biennials and triennials and, so many works of public art. How has the pandemic shifted the projects that you're engaged in addition to these civic projects, but with your own, your personal practice?
Well, I think if you are an American of African descent and you lived through 2020, which so many didn't, it gave a greater sense of responsibility, for why we're here and what we're doing. Of course, after the murders that the world got to see because time stopped for a little bit, that happened every day. Sadly, a lot of us got opportunities that were long overdue, and it sucks to think that Black people have to die in these gruesome ways in order for us to be seen. And so I'm hoping that to see that day end, and I really feel like within the work that I do in the public or in my studio or anything that I'm making the most of the opportunities given to me at the suffering of so many people. Sorry, I know it's a downer, but it's real.
No, I was like, that's the perfect way to end an interview, in this way. So, I mean, thank you. I think that says so much about your character and your process. And we just really appreciate you being here with us this evening. Can you tell us where we can follow your work?
Well, I was supposed to say I feel so special and lucky to be here. And so I cry, but I'm so grateful and I love the energy. And I really am so grateful to you. And you can find me where I'm
at.
Word.
Respect. Yo, thanks so much for being with us, man. This was great.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. On that note, we'll be right back. The unique thing that I hope that we're bringing to the space is that we are talking to people who are exceptional artists and thinkers, but who are also really trying to, I think, sort of spread light in some way, either through social justice or joy or resistance and many acts.
This is the true story.
The true story of 4 Harlem Renaissance figures picked to live in a loft
and have their lives tipped.
Find out what happens
when your favorite historical heroes stop being polite
and start getting real.
This is the real Renaissance.
Listen, we not come here to make friends. We come here to go back to Africa.
I have seen rivers, and I have seen docks on those rivers, and I have seen trade on those docks on those rivers.
Please, no questions about politics. I just want to talk about the art. Their eyes weren't watching me. They were watching God. Why, yes, I am gorgeous.
Yes, I am a fabulous dancer, and yes, I will fuck a motherfucker up.
Yeah, I'm here too. Don't act surprised.
I am so elated about the dinner party tonight and the trade that will follow.
Thank God for this party. Finally, there'll be some people I can mingle with, so I don't have to deal with Garvey's ass for a few hours.
Sister Josephine, I don't understand why you keep traveling back and forth to that little city in France when there's a whole continent that wants you back.
Listen, brother, I respect you and your politics, but I'm gonna need you to get up out my face. Also, I don't know why you're beefing with me when Zora is right there.
No, I'm not.
Miss Beata, you not come here if I have no conflict with you. You come here if you go back to Africa. Africa.
Well, anyway, I'm jazzed. I'll get it.
Hi there, got the invite. What's for dinner tonight?
So, who invited the white people then?
Wow. Why are you looking directly at me? Why don't you look at this Capricorn over here?
Please don't.
Well, aren't you and Langston all buddy-buddy with that white chick?
Josephine, how dare! I thought you and I had a bond. And you know I never go for white meat.
And Marcus, don't act like you're not in the mix with those white folks trying to further your agenda.
That very well may be true. But when I come here to mingle and wine and dine with white people, you come here to go back to Africa. Africa. Africa.
And I just came here to get a little writing done.
Oh, really?
Really? Don't be looking at me.
Now,
You know what? You are the funniest one in the bunch.
I've been in the all time. You know
wow, we know you're friends with
first,
all
not
of
me.
them. Look at you.
And Marcus down there.
And you
Okay,
don't wanna have
everyone,
any-
please. Inhale and exhale. Now, if none of us invited these white people that are standing on our stoop right now, who did?
Heidi, Heidi, Heidi ho. Glad you could make it. Where's Heedy Heedy He?
He's stuck in traffic.
In last week's episode, our favorite Lonely Girls branched out with both Kaori and Janice having found other friends.
Okay, team, have a good rest of the year, and we will reconvene in January.
All right, Kaori, let's do this.
Oh no. Every time that notification come on, you run off like you're about to turn into a pumpkin.
Okay, Kaori, I'm gonna have to call you back.
God damn it, Janice.
What are we watching indeed?
Hey, thanks again.
Hey, Janice.
Since you know my name, what's yours?
James.
James, another J. What a coincidence. So you're doing anything fun for the holidays, James?
Probably just play video games. Nothing too special.
Why not?
Well, we are still in the middle of a pandemic.
Right. Smart.
Yeah, well, I guess I better get going.
James, wait. You want to do this real quick?
And finally, can you follow up with Raheem and Irfan? Sure. Okay, and if that's the last thing, let's celebrate our magazine fiend. Hey!
I'm not going to ask her.
Ask who what? Who are you talking to? You got somebody in the room with you?
What are you not telling me, Kaori?
What are you not telling me?
Huh? Who is James? And how long have you been vertically him against your front door? You James too?
No!
Well, how do you know James? You know Tori too?
Tori? Who the is Tori?
She is not a hoe, Edie.
Wait, who is Edie? And why is she calling me a hoe? Did you swing in this pandemic? I thought we were gonna do that together. Well, not together, but what are you talking about?
I'm celibate, unlike some people.
Okay.
Let's just calm down. How do you know James?
I don't know James. I know about him. You left your Zoom on last week and we watched you flirt, and then you said,
do you want to hit this? And then I turned the Zoom off. Well, I stayed around for him to take off his belt and his pants. Oh my God. Who else saw?
Huh? No one.
You just said we.
That's my new pronoun.
Bet.
So
I was jonesing and I started thinking about who was accessible to me, and no shame, I made a plan.
Your celibate ass should try it too. Look at my system.
No way. I'm not allowed. I mean, I've decided to work on a new project during this time, and I have like a coach that's keeping me accountable.
Kaori, girl, listen, the deal is safe.
I make him put on this and this
on top of a mask, so no one gets COVID or chlamydia.
You are too wild. We're just glad you're being safe.
Wait a minute. Who's Tori? Oh, he's just a DoorDash guy.
Seems like only one of our lonely girls has no shame. Will Kaori share the fact that she's friend cheating on Janice with Edie the champagne bottle? Find out next week in our final episode of Lonely Girls.
Oh man, I didn't come here to make friends. I'm not on BlackStar to make friends. I'm on BlackStar Live to go back to Africa.
That was so much fun. Can I tell you how my 9-year-old self is like so excited to have worked on this? Amazing.
Amazing. Well, up next, April George and Matt Vista make up the cosmic pair, April and Vista. This DC-based duo have a cinematic sound with a blend of violin, piano, and vocals, often paired with ethereal soundscapes and incredible visuals. We're so excited to see what they've been up to. Let's welcome April and Vista to BlackStar Live. What's up, y'all?
What up?
Hi.
Welcome. It's nice to see y'all.
Yeah, likewise.
Thank you so much for joining us. So we would love to know more about what you've been up to, how you came to be. Can you talk to us how you formed as a group?
Yeah. So we met in 2014. We both went to the same college together and had the same mutuals. Your friend introduced you to my music via SoundCloud.
And then I sent you a message.
Which we still have.
Embarrassing. We still have it.
We still have like that whole like that SoundCloud correspondence saved somewhere.
Yeah, and we met up in DC back when the world was open, and met up at Busboys.
Yeah, we met up at Busboys.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
When
we were talking
y'all met?
about making a project, and before even like knowing we had any sort of chemistry as like creators. And just dove straight in. And luckily it worked. It could have been awkward otherwise.
Do you have a sense that it will work, or how did you know, y'all would have chemistry and that your styles would fit?
We didn't. That's the wild thing about it. Like, I didn't really actually have music recorded. I had I studied music in school, kind of, and had always been a part of music groups whenever I was in school and whatever, but I never recorded anything. So Matt actually had already had things on SoundCloud and Bandcamp at that time. So I just liked his sound and thought we could build something really cool together. And so we took a chance.
As soon as we found out that we both like two of the same artists, we were like, this is it.
We did it.
An EP.
Who were those artists? Who were some of your chief influences?
Radiohead.
Flying Lotus. Majority of like our friends are based on our huge like super fandom of MF Doom.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Danger Mouse, James Blake,
Bjork.
It's an ongoing list. It'd be easier to just share y'all like my Spotify.
So I'm gonna take you up on that, just so you know. And also, I hear all of those influences in y'all's music as well. I've been a huge fan, and then I heard my boy Dennis was gonna manage y'all, and I was like, "Word, that's incredible!"
Shout out to Dennis.
Shout out to Dennis, who also featured in BlackStar.
Yes.
Both of y'all too, you featured on "I May Destroy You," which congratulations on that. And how did that come to be?
Thank you. Actually, we got an email, like they reached out to our old manager. And then at the time we had just recently like started working with a publisher. So they helped us seal the deal.
Yeah. They just kind of like emailed us out the blue.
Yeah. Shout out to like music directors out there that are just having their ears to the ground and finding underground talent, Black underground talent.
Yeah. The music on I May Destroy You has been crazy. So
it was an honor to be a part of that.
Huge honor to contribute to that show.
Yeah, I feel like music has been getting better, and I feel like Insecure like set the bar, and like so many shows since have been.
Totally.
Yeah. So what's next for you? What are you working on, and what can we look forward to?
So we spent the better half of lockdown doom scrolling and writing music. More doom scrolling than writing music, but we did get a lot done though.
Yes.
We'll be releasing a single next week. And something larger later in March. We won't say quite what it is, but we're really excited about it.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna be on pins and needles until the end of March. But thank y'all, April VISTA. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been great.
Thank you for having us.
I'm looking forward to the Spotify list too.
Yo, I'm gonna DM you, sidebar. And now, here to take us inside a story through song, April and VISTA, everybody.
Tuck your worry away, never come back to it, left in the fold. Far out in the open, reach out to capture the after effect. Light flows in to lift you, to guide through pain with reality stays tethered to hopefulness, spinning surround. And those passageways lead to the present, infinite. And though flesh may fail you, you're never alone. You'll see, you'll see.
here's another card. I bet you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's a lot to do at once. Hey, I love Michelle Obama like the next guy. So, I mean, give the woman her citation and copyright. But plot twist, it's actually Fannie Lou Hamer who said it. So again, citations matter because that's how you pass knowledge through the generations. But again, with this Whole Foods font, man, maybe Michelle's into it. I know Fannie would not be. You know, never mind. These fonts stress me out. And for the love of Hallmark, just stop it with this sunset yoga. I make my own yogurt ass font. You can make an impact with an understated type like Den. But listen, I got another verse on this I might humbly suggest to Mahogany. I heard life is a bitch. I went to bed with her. Get well soon. Happy Valentine's Day to a much loved son. You make us laugh with your jokes. You make us happy with your successes. And you make us proud always by being everything you are. You are such a gift to us, and we couldn't love you more. You know, when I read this card, it reminds me of that scene in Minister Society where Kane's grandfather says, when I see you walk down that aisle, I'm going to be the proudest grandfather in all of L.A. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's just a little, it's cheesy. But we all know Valentine's Day is the epitome of a Hallmark holiday anyway. It's something that the company made up so we buy more stationery from them. Then who can blame Hallmark for tightening the yoke of consumerism on us? We've replaced physical and emotional intimacy with likes and faves. So it's natural they resort to so much diversification of these affirmations of love that now moms sending love letters to our children. It's late stage capitalism, but I don't hate it. I don't even want to take apart this font. I mean, look, there's a heart inside. It's all worth it if we build each other up. But you know, mom probably tells her kids she loves them every day. Am I right, mom? Moms don't need a card for their sons. You know who needs a card? You know who needs a pat on the back? That fuckboy in your crew who manages to somehow be smooth and full of shame all at once. Like they need permission to fuck around. So give them permission. It's like I said, I think it was in my 12-minute freestyle on Hot 97 last summer. I'm chasing chicken like a chupacabra. I hope you are too. Happy Valentine's Day, bro. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Black Thoughts. I mean, I'm so black, my thoughts are black.
In last week's episode, Janice divulged her system of maintaining her addiction to receiving packages at her front door. She hasn't trusted anyone with the back door in a while. Kaori, on the other hand, has not divulged to Janice about her new friend / bully Edie.
You ought to be in pictures. What? I thought you loved that song. I mean, I'm trying to use this show to find potential partners. And I feel like the song, it has a commentary on unrequited love, and so it's fitting. Fine. I just need a moment.
Hi, Kaori. Happy Friday to you. I was just wondering if you would fill out this customer service form. I wanted to...
You know what? You're right. I won't sing the song.
No, I don't have any packages coming today. No, I don't need to order food. I cooked. No, I don't need a package every day. Nope, not doing it. Not listening to you.
And just like that, the blunt done jumped into her coffee.
Damn it! Where's my last blunt?
As she looks over the names of her weed dealers, she remembers that one guy who had the best curved blunt she ever got high off.
What's this for?
You know, in case you have any problems with your packages.
Why would I call you? I could just go online and figure this out.
Well, no. This is a courtesy from the company to make delivery feel more personalized. Yeah, that's it. Like, you could think of me as your personalized delivery service, man.
Okay, I gotta go. It's cold. I gotta close the door.
Okay, well, don't hesitate to call me if you...
I think you have the wrong house.
No, these are for you.
Oh, okay. Do you have the card from who it is?
Oh, no, because they're from me.
Shut up, Edie.
Is now not a good time?
A good time for what?
No, well... Kaori, I just want to tell you that I think you're really pretty.
I'll tell him. I don't have time for delivery men with flowers. I have a show to put on for my people. There are a lot of nice people in the world, you know. I just don't happen to be related to any of them. You know, you get to be real independent when you live alone. You get to be a real individual.
Hey, James. Happy holidays again.
Hey, Janice. I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be transferred to another route.
What? What does that mean?
Well, it means that I won't be delivering your packages anymore, but not...
What are you trying to say, James?
Nah. Look, you know, I'm going to still drop my package off to you, if you know what I mean.
No.
But I thought that we were like...
You had one job. Ugh, I can't even look at you. Pathetic.
But I dove for pearls.
Was that you who did that, though?
You know what? Someone told me that his friend Tori that worked at DoorDash was also delivering you eggplant parmesan.
James. You could have fixed my faucet. Tired. Bye, James.
Meow. 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 I'd like to thank my dramaturg and director, Edie. Edie meets Slim.
Tune in next week to find out more about lonely girls and their vices getting it on.
Our next guest is the Director of Culture and Art at Open Society Foundations, as well as a choreographer and curator. Rashida's latest work, Braiding and Singing, A Point, explores the subversive acts of care and survival that Black women have engaged in for centuries. Let's take a look.
Well, good morning, everybody. Yeah. Did you know my mother? Yes. Did she give good living? Yeah. Had she been baptized? Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Well, good morning, everybody. Yeah. Did you know my mother? Yeah. Did she give good living? Yeah. Had she been baptized? Well, I've been to the river and I've been baptized. So get converted and I feel alright. Did you feel alright? Yeah. Did you feel alright? Yeah. Did you feel alright? Yeah.
I wade the water to my knees.
I'm gonna pray, gonna pray.
Wade the water to my knees.
I'm gonna pray till I die.
Oh Lord, the water so cold.
I'm gonna pray, gonna pray.
Lord, the water's so cold.
I'm gonna pray till I die.
Well, I sink and never rise.
I'm gonna pray, gonna pray.
Sink and never rise.
I'm gonna pray till I die.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I'm gonna pray, gonna pray.
Mercy. I'm gonna pray till I die.
Run, Mary, run, oh Lord. Run, Martha, run, oh Lord. Tell Mary, run, I say.
You got a right to the tree of life.
Run, Mary, run,
oh Lord.
Run, Martha, run,
oh Lord.
Tell Mary, run, I say.
You got a right to the tree of life.
Little Mary, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
You got a right, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
I come to tell you, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
You got a right, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
You got a right, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
Run, Mary, run.
Oh Lord.
Run, Martha, run.
Oh Lord.
Tell Mary, run, I say.
You got a right to the tree of life.
You got a right, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
You got a right, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
Come to tell you, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
Little Mary, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
Got a right, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
You got a right, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
You got a right, you got a right.
You got a right to the tree of life.
No,
It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful, and it makes me really excited and proud to be a Black person. Rashida, welcome to BlackStar Live. Uh-oh. Seems like we can't hear you just yet. Well, as we're getting sorted, for y'all at home that are watching, just like take a moment to just take in what you just saw and that really, really beautiful.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
We do.
Hi.
Welcome.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being
No,
here.
thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
First off, I love your name. It's very awesome.
Thank you. I love your name, my righteous brother.
Indeed. I'm curious, what inspired you to include the Giesben quilts?
Yes. So these quotes are by Lucy T. Pettaway and Lucy Mingo. And they were both made in the 1950s. And I've really been inspired by this idea of Black interiority. And so I wanted to think about what actually exists inside the architecture and the language of the quilts and really use that as a point of departure into this sort of space of imagination that I wanted the film to travel along.
Word.
It's so, I feel like every time I see it, I feel like even in this short, I think it's like 6 minutes or so, there's like something new that I'm uncovering. And I just love, the braiding of the rice and the hair and the setting. It makes me think about this lineage of Black women video artists. And for some reason, I've been like thinking about Marion Hassinger and Sega Ngudi and folks like that. Who were you inspired by, like directly when you were planning for this film?
Well, I really was actually thinking about filmmakers, but also the kind of object makers like the Giesben quilters or other Black women artists like Simone Lee, who was focused on this idea of a loophole of retreat, which was the kind of crawl space where, a Black woman was hiding from their master's rage. And so what does it actually mean to have a space of that belongs only to us, that is sort of a sanctuary at that moment? And I am, of course, inspired by Senga Ngudi and Marion Hassinger and Lorraine O'Grady and many of the Black women of that generation who really looked at performance and the documentation of performance as an artwork. And so that's actually how I was approaching this, especially because it's my first time ever making a film.
Word. I mean, it was really lovely to watch. While we were playing it here,
Thank you.
I was talking with Luke about the music, and he was asking who was singing that. And I'm super curious, how did you choose which songs you were going to use for this?
Sure. Well, the very opening, when you see the quilts, is actually a piano improvisation by my brother, Samora Penderhughes, who's a brilliant pianist and composer. And the songs that we were singing, that's actually my daughter and myself singing, and also my sister. And we really selected these. These are traditional spirituals and ring shout songs. And we selected them really to think about the kind of double entendre meaning that was, sort of built into these biblical references, but we also knew that they were urging us towards freedom. So really, when you look at the braiding of the rice into the hair, it's really looking at this sort of tradition where people were escaping slavery into maroon communities or even before the Middle Passage, and the kind of rituals of braiding rice into the hair so that they would have sustenance, on their journey when they got to where they were going. And so someone joked that that's like the real protective hairstyle. But the songs were really similar. Like what kind of songs are embedded in our DNA, and how do we actually understand the messages that are being told? So this idea of Run, Mary, Run, You Got a Right to the Tree of Life is a song that I've used a lot in performance. And it really is beautiful because it says, Run, Mary, run Run, Martha, run, tell Mary, run, I say, you got a right to the tree of life. And it really just talks about the kind of, what it means to urge someone towards their own freedom, but also to urge them towards their own self-love and care, which I think is really one of the most beautiful things about Black people and our music and, what we embed into it to get us through times similar to those that we're in today.
Yeah. So I think of your practice as a curator, a singer, a dancer, philanthropist, and as you mentioned, this was your first film as a director. So how did you approach this? Did you study with someone first, or how did you even start sort of planning for the film and working up to make it happen?
Well, it was during the height of the pandemic, when New York was the center of the pandemic, when I made this film last summer. And it was really thinking about, for me, the kinds of films that my husband actually showed me as part of our courtship, which were a lot of Haile Garima films. And of course, Bradford Young is our good friend, and just sort of listening to the things that he loves. And I know there's one scene in Ashes and Embers where the grandmother sits up in the bed and her hair is sticking up, and that moment is just like home, right? And so I really wanted to figure out how to actually, in the context of an exterior space, create that feeling of home. And so I worked with a DP called Jamal Solomon, who Sean Peters actually recommended. And of course, he was also from this school of like, you have to get there at the crack of dawn, so that there's beautiful light. And my daughter was the only one who was actually up at 3 and ready to go. But we arrived in Prospect Park, which when you look at this film, you think it could be like in the Sea Island somewhere or down south. It's actually in a clearing in Prospect Park. And we were the first ones there, and the light and everything just really spoke to us. And, so I really thought of it as actually the way I think about performance. And the sort of sketch for this film actually happened in a live performance at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in the African Art Gallery. And we sang some of these songs to the objects as a way of like thinking about, if we're thinking about restitution of African objects or restitution of African cultural heritage, and the objects can't actually go back to their context of origin, how can we charge them? And I think it's a similar impetus to how I think about performance. How can I give us back what is ours? Like, how can I give us ourselves, whether it's the ring shout or blues or tap dance, the forms that we created as an alternative to insanity in the new world that belong to us.
Word. I'm thinking a lot about that woman that was dancing in the second half of the film, and it looks like she had the tops of soda cans around her ankles. What went into the idea? Where does that come from?
Well, that woman was me. And I'm actually a tap dancer by training. And my friend Simone Lee actually gave me these anklets some years ago when we were working together on a project. And they're actually from South Africa. And they're made of foam. And the tops of cans are actually sewn onto them. And, one of the things that I love about them as I learned more was that they're usually used in the Zulu context when someone is training or doing an initiation to be a Sangoma, which is like the priestess in Zulu culture. And they would basically wear those anklets and dance until they went into a trance-like state, and also dance all throughout the night. And so it really reminded me of the tradition of the watch night in the Black church tradition and in the ring shout tradition, where you would do this kind of durational dancing until you got to a moment of levity or moment of possession. And so that is how I approach working with the object of those anklets, is like, how can they, and the sound of them, which to me, if people can't see it, they say it sounds like a shake array or it sounds like bells. And so I feel like there are kind of a lot of different diasporic references that I think the sound of them brings up. But for me, it's really about sort of creating a clearing with sound and also with the movement until the kind of spirit arrives.
Word.
So you mentioned that your daughter is in the film and your sister as well. What was it like collaborating with your daughter specifically? Is this her first film role or?
Yes, so she was very excited, and I actually just started collaborating with my daughter for the performance at the Met that I was speaking about. And at that performance, it was really just amazing to me the way that she was able to suspend fear. And the adults there, we were so nervous, like, we had this nervous energy, and she was completely calm. And I think I really wanted that in the film. I wanted that kind of calm that when people are caring for you, even if you're on your way into a war, right? Like the children who were taken during slavery, or the children that were moving towards freedom, escaping. I wonder what that felt like. And I feel like the kind of love and care that we give when we're braiding hair or greasing someone's scalp, or, just putting shea butter on the child's legs. Like, I feel like that's a kind of form of armor, but I feel like because it's love, it creates, it's a way of calming. And I felt like I really wanted that. And it was actually the very first time we had like taken a cab during quarantine. And so she was so excited. Just to be there and to participate. And I really am intent on teaching her these songs because I feel like they belong to us. And I'm really interested in this kind of chain of transmission in the way that we make sure our rituals continue.
Right.
Beautiful, thank you.
It's really beautiful. Rashida, thank you so much for being here, for making the time, for sharing your powerful work with us, and just generally for the work that you do. And for making sure loose checks are clearing.
Thank you. It's the Open Society Foundations.
Thank you. And for y'all at home, one last time, we'll be right back.
I can't wait for you to love me. Now I see.
It's quite clear, might I add. You can close the door, but you can never stop the draft. The wind is always gonna score blows.
That. Oh, we are live. That was our very own Luke Carlos O'Reilly with a sample from his upcoming album, I Too Sing America, A Black Man's Diary, available everywhere.
Man, and that brings us to the end of the most seasoned non-season of a series I've ever been a part of. As always, we'd like to thank our guests, Hank Willis Thomas, April VISTA, Rashida Bumbray for being here. And if you enjoyed the season, email her at keepblackstaralive.rashida@opensociety.com. I'm just playing. I am Karan Tarantino.
I'm Zora Neale Thirsttrap.
And I am Fluke Ellington. Wait, actually, wait a second. Speaking of Thirst Trap, what's up with your girl Janice, man? She doesn't hit me back, man. Tell her to call, brother.
Luke is, of course, talking about our head writer and producer, Denise Beek, who has been getting a lot of DM love since appearing as Janice.
She got more followers than Jesus, y'all.
Lonely Girl times Delivery Guy. Shout out to D-Lo, who's in LA.
No, wait. I'm serious. She keeps on leaving me on red or ... What's up? Can a brother get a little love?
Luke, the show is over.
Indeed.
Okay?
All right.
Moving on. Shout out to Desmond Thorne, too. His absurd, ridiculous brilliance. His Minute in Black Cinema got a real confirmed LOL response from Coleman Domingo last week, and that is incredible.
That was amazing. And that's why we do this show, so our writers get busy.
Hey, you know what I mean? I'm working on my rap skills like Black Thought. I'm working on my sustained climax. And you know what? I'm not mad. But let's spread the love. Also, too, if you really want to reach Maori, you can reach her at 1-800-BACKSTAR. That's 1-800-BlackStar. We taking the L out because with Maori, you stay winning. You heard me?
Please follow us on all social media accounts at BlackStar Fest, scene_journal, and at Mini Lumens, and tag your favorite moments using hashtag BlackStar Live. And we want to thank all these people on the stage, plus all the people on the other side of the camera for making this happen.
This would not have been possible, y'all.
A monumental effort. And we are so thankful to the Open Society Foundations, to Asian Arts Initiative, to all the staff at BlackStar Projects. Thank you. Oh, and All Ages Productions as well. Thank you so much.
Indeed. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.